audience, I'm not Takuma, but he's sitting right next to me in outer space. And we just dragged him back in. Sorry about that. I forgot that I had to also mention that you were wearing a suit, or else the suit wouldn't appear and you would almost suffocate.
Thank you.
Yep, sorry about that. Should have planned it out better. So, anyways, that was Takuma, who is right now recovering. He looks a little bit purple, kind of like the galaxy that we're in. And I'm Zatth, and this is Rock Raiders.
Yeah, what he said.
Feeling a little bit better now?
I dropped the ball on that one.
Yeah, well, I would have said you also dropped the oxygen, but actually I dropped the oxygen, so yeah, you only dropped the ball. Speaking of which, did you at least drop it in the direction that we wanted it to go? Because you know we're not getting that ball back from outer space.
Well, that depends. How do you feel about colonizing Mars?
Aliens?
I'm gonna take that as a no.
Yeah, I feel like we should do a few more missions before we go ahead and colonize Mars.
Agreed.
Also, because, you know, John Carter only came out like a year ago, and I really don't want to repeat that again that soon.
And I haven't seen that either.
Movie jokes. I didn't see it either. I really wanted to see it. It looked good, honestly. But then, you know, everyone's being like, oh no, it's one of the worst movies ever made. And I'm like, well, if people on the internet say it, I guess it must be true. Sad face.
Indeed. And just before we get started on today's level, I want to give a shout out to BZPower member Avoca Tamer, who has been helping me to make sure that the audio quality of these videos is not absolute rubbish. So
shout out to AT so that we don't sound like shout outs. Voice jokes.
Right.
Search and rescue.
Search and rescue. Let's do it. Because, I mean, there's not much point in having a rescue if you don't search first. Oh, hey, we finally get to see part 2 of this cutscene, whatever it is.
Fun! Oh, speaking of part 2 and continuations, I guess we're going to talk about John Hurt, weren't we?
Oh, yes, John Hurt.
Well, here are the roles that I know from John Hurt off the top of my head. I know he's been the dragon in Merlin. I know he played Ollivander in Harry Potter, the guy who gives Harry his wand in the first movie. I know he's been in Doctor Who because he was the War Doctor. By the way, he did an awesome job there.
That's the one I'm missing.
Yeah, he was in there. He also, let's see, what else did he do? He was, the evil dictator in the V for Vendetta movie adaptation. Never saw it, so I can't really comment on that. And he also played Winston Smith in 1984, the movie version.
The only thing out of all that I know is Doctor Who.
Yay! Well, he did a great job as the War Doctor, let's be honest.
Yeah, he did.
Here.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
man, he
wow.
was good. Yeah. Is it bad that I feel like now, even though I've only seen him for about however long the 50th special was, he's one of my favorite incarnations of the Doctor?
I agree defiantly.
Takuma defiantly agrees with Zath's opinion.
Upgrade the teleport pad to level 2 and transport down a tunnel scout. Send a rock raider to the teleport pad to
gotta ask, did you ever own any of the Rock Raider sets?
Explore the river until you find the missing Rock Raider.
No. Funny story, I got my first LEGO set ever in 1997, and that was only because it was given to me as a gift when I was only a wee little 3-year-old.
Construct your power station.
Also, since I lived in South America all of my life up until '09, usually LEGO sets arrived there like 6 months late. Also, back in like 97, 98 and all that time, I barely knew what LEGO themes were, to the point where, and this is actually a very personal, embarrassing story of mine, in 2002, I was in the Legoland store in Disneyland, or Disney World, whichever one it is, and they were having a special sale where you could buy 2 Toamata for a discounted price, right?
Ooh.
And the dude at the counter was like, yeah, you can buy this Toalewa figure, and you can buy another one as well for a discounted price. But me, being a silly buffoon and fool that I was at the age of 6, and not understanding that the color green wasn't the only thing that was important, I was like, no, I really don't want to buy another one. And I very vividly remembered this guy shaking Kopaka at me and being like, are you sure you can buy another one for a cheaper price? And I was like, nah, I'm good.
Ooh.
I am ashamed of young myself, yes.
You know what?
But, coming back from that tangent, no, I never owned any Rock Raider sets, unfortunately.
I have to say that reminds me of one time when, I don't know if you've ever been to the Mall of America.
No, but I would love to go someday.
Lego store isn't as good as it used to be, but that is besides the point. So, one year for Christmas, it would have been, well, the Christmas of... Actually, I don't know for sure which year it was, but I got the Parok, you know, the brown Borok.
Okay.
And then went to the Lego store some, like probably would have been about 4 or 5 months later, and they had a pack, all 6 Borok for $20.
What?
Yes. And I was like,
That's
dude.
like a steal.
Yeah, I was like, dude, this is sick. And I was just like, you know, it's just too bad I already have one of them. So, and you know, it's like
Oh, no.
I already opened it up. And, you know,
No.
I already opened it up. No, it's not like that. So,
Okay.
so it's like, that's a good idea. My mom was like, hey, you know what we can do? You can buy this, then take just don't open the new Parok, and we can return that to the store we got the one for you for Christmas from. And get your money back.
That's pretty brilliant. I'm not gonna lie.
Takuma Nuva, cheating Lego out of money since 2000 something.
Yeah, but let's be honest, we've saved with them for so long, I feel like you've repaid that debt long ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, we love
We're
Lego.
creating value right here with Lego Rock Raiders, except the Rock Raiders theme isn't a thing anymore, so we're not really.
Yeah. I wish it was a theme, though.
I'm,
Because, like, we've had figures like Power Miners and, like, stuff like that, but Lego Rock Raiders was where it was at, man.
Mm-hmm. And actually, if I remember correctly, Rock Raiders was one of the first Lego themes to actually give the different minifigures their own individual names.
Really?
Yeah, I don't remember what
That's
the
awesome.
other two were. But, like, I know the ones we already said we figured out were Axel and Jet. And then I looked up the other ones. Well, Chief is obvious. The last ones were Bandit, Sparks, and Docs.
I love those names. It's like, do you remember, do you ever read that blog post about, like, the very origins of the Bionicle story and when they were coming out with the names for the Toa, that, like, their prototype names were, like,
Oh yeah,
Axe,
Hook, Claw.
Hook.
Yeah. Wow, such awesome names. I'm
Can
kind
you
of...
imagine if that's how Bionicle had started off? 6 heroes on an undiscovered island. Here
What I want to
is
know
your
is...
hero, Hook.
What would happen to Hook, aka Gali, after the Nuva incarnation? Would she still be Hook, or would she be the new Axe? And then Axe would become Katana, and it would create all kinds of stupid confusion.
Yeah, wow, that would have been confusing. Man, it's good that they didn't do that.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. If you had to name Bionicle figures after their weapons, I'm trying to think what the most outrageous one would be.
Nunchuck? Oh no!
We need
Run,
you!
everybody! We're gonna be... It's like, who do bad guys fear? Nunchuck.
Man,
You know what that actually
what
makes me think of? That makes me think of Legend of Korra. Nupchuck.
Yes! Oh man. I like how we went from Bionicle names to the Legend of Korra in 30 seconds or less.
And I was actually starting with Rock Raider sets.
Yep. Speaking of special and unique attributes of Bionicle, do you think that that would have meant that since Holly Unica was so outrageous, her name would have been Mustache?
Oh god. Mustache.
Like, the
And
weapon wouldn't have
Gali
been enough.
Mystica would be Waffle Face.
Waffle. No. Oh man. Do you know what you just reminded me of? Okay, so you remember like Gali's weird eye thing, right?
Oh yeah. The waffle.
Do you know what it reminded me of
Or
always,
colander.
and that's why I laughed when you called it Waffle Face? Did you ever play Animal Crossing?
No. Apparently it's
Okay.
a really big thing for some people.
Surprisingly, it is a very big thing, but I played the, I don't know if you call it old version, but like the previous version on like the GameCube. Anywho, in the game, you can sometimes shake trees, right? And get apples from them or stuff like that, right?
Okay.
But other times, when you shake the tree, you make bees fall out and follow you. And, you know, ignoring the fact that you can make thousands of Nick Cage, not the bees, jokes from that situation, you, if you didn't run fast enough from the bees, would end up getting stung. And your eye literally became Golly Mystica's eye.
Huh.
It just became like a hexagon with a bunch of, like, little dots. So when Golly Mystica came out, I started having flashbacks to Animal Crossing, and so my headcanon is that Golly Mystica hates bees.
Congratulations. I will forget that by the time the next episode starts.
It's okay. Someday you'll be walking around, and then you will see a bunch of bees, and you'll suddenly think to yourself, why am I having flashbacks to 2008?
It's because the Makuta looked like bugs, right?
Oh, yeah, I remember. I forgot that was a thing.
Teleport pad.
You say that
You
like
know
it's
what
a bad
other
thing.
I mean, you know what other thing is like also is like weird to kind of forget and then remember again?
What you ate for breakfast?
Yes, that can happen a lot, surprisingly, and actually that's a really scary thing that we should work on. But when you finally remember your breakfast, it's the fact that you forget that Makuta Pterodax was literally only called Makuta for like 8 years. Like, isn't it weird that like now we call him Pterodax and we have all these other Makuta, but
Yeah.
during the first few years of the Bionicle storyline, he was the Makuta. And you were like, oh, it's Makuta, he's the baddest fat one in the universe. And it's like, oh no, there's like hundreds of them. And it's like,
Yeah.
oh.
This is just the one that happened to, you know, have the big
Brains.
plan. Yeah, he's the most conniving one. And also the one who got his head caved in.
Yeah, he did. And then
You know,
his
there's-
wings taken off.
That's something I've kind of wondered is, okay, so I know it's a little fuzzy because they talked about the end of Bionicle in a few different ways, and I know there's a little bit of variation between them, but the general idea is that Matanui got the 2 broken pieces of Spherus Magna to come down, and one of them hit Makuta in the head, right?
Yes.
Okay. Are we to assume that Bota Magna and Aqua Magna are roughly the same size?
Yeah, but definitely smaller than
Bara Magna.
Bar Magna. Yeah.
How on earth?
Well, no,
Could-
not on Earth. Spherus Magna. I'm sorry. That was
How
terrible.
in the name of Matanui
Okay.
could the whole Matanui universe robot fit on Aqua Magna and then the same planet only hit him in the head? I feel like you wouldn't say he got hit in the head. I feel like you would say he got absolutely crushed.
Yeah.
Or
that's
did the thing shrink on its way in? Did it burn up in re-entry?
Oh, that's it. Maybe he just like hit part of the planet, so like it was
Maybe
like a
chunk
horribly
broke off.
like painful like impact. But people are just like he hit his head because they're lazy and they don't want to say like he utterly got his head smashed in by a giant freaking piece of a planet floating.
Probably.
Yeah,
Who's
I
gonna
will go
drive
with that.
Who's gonna drive our tunnel scout?
Well,
to do
he
jumping
knows
jacks, learn how to
jumping
fly.
jacks.
You know, this is the one that makes probably the most sense. Jumping jacks, you're kind of flapping your arms like you're gonna fly. You learn how to be a pilot that way.
I believe I can fly.
I believe I can touch the sky.
Man, can you imagine if we were a barbershop quartet, but with only 2 people?
I feel like we could probably scrounge up 2 more people.
Yeah, that's true. What 2 other people would you like to have in a barbershop quartet if it was the 2 of us looking for 2 other people? If you could choose, like, anyone from, like, history, fictional, real...
I would have to say Kevin Hinkle.
Okay, Kevin
and
Hinkle.
Liam Neeson.
Liam, I like that. Speaking of Liam Neeson, did you know that him and I share the same birthday?
I did not.
June 7th, yeah.
My father shares a birthday with Weird Al.
That is 10 times cooler.
I don't know who I share a birthday with besides my uncle.
You should find out. I mean, that's what I did. I just, like, one day was bored and went on Wikipedia and looked up those dates, and then I was like, whoa! I share a birthday with Liam Neeson! Yay! Speaking of birthdays, do you remember when they changed the zodiac signs and the zodiac calendar?
No, I didn't know that was ever a thing.
Did you hear about that?
No.
Yeah, they added like a 13th zodiac sign.
Oh. Weird.
Yeah. I know. It was really odd. It was just like, oh, well, looks like we got some dates or something wrong. We're adding a new sign. So, you know, your whole life has been a lie. It's like when they changed Pluto's status from a planet to a dwarf planet or whatever.
Nope.
What?
I refuse to. Nope.
Oh yeah, no, I don't call it a dwarf planet either. I call it a real planet.
Next thing you know, they're gonna tell us that double stuffed Oreos aren't what regular Oreos used to be.
Yeah, I know, right?
Water.
Although, you know what's actually really scary? So
Spiders?
Yes, spiders are terrifying. That the status of Pluto got changed, I believe, in 06, which means that in maybe this year, or even in just 2 years, there could be people watching this video for whom their entire life, Pluto was a dwarf planet.
And they're like, what?
Isn't that terrifying?
It is very terrifying.
Yep. Oh, here we go. This is the new zodiac sign. It's Ophiuchus.
Gesundheit.
Thank you. Yeah, apparently they added a new astrological sign, because why not?
Because reasons.
Yeah, because of reasons.
I feel like maybe this is to drive up the price of horoscopes, maybe?
Oh, yeah, that's
we have to do readings for more signs now, so it's gonna cost you more.
Yeah, you'll have to buy more horoscopic readings, because now there's 13 signs instead of 12.
We've boosted sales by whatever percent one of 13 is.
Ha! Math! We don't have to do it.
I'm still waiting for the day when I use my statistics stuff.
Yeah, don't worry, the day will come someday. You will be like in a life or death situation, and somebody will pull up.
I'll be like, ooh, central limit theorem!
Yeah.
And then I'll be a hero.
And then he'll be like, no, how do you know? My plan counted you on not knowing exactly about this. And then you'll be like, I took statistics.
It's actually funny, because on one of the first days of the statistics course was something about, you know, the percentage chance of a person being born in a certain month, which basically, you know, you're supposed to be looking for the fraction 1/12.
Okay.
But I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure it's more in one month than another. And he's like, really? And I was like, yeah, and actually we looked it up, and I think it was August is significantly higher for birth rate.
Very interesting. Well, we won't talk about the ramifications of that, because I feel like the topic is a little bit, you know.
Not going there.
But I'll tell you something else that's interesting. You know what it is?
Soda crackers aren't made with soda.
Wait, they're not?
Sorry, I had to find out this way.
No, my whole life has been a lie. No, but I realized, and this is an interesting discussion that some people were having. You look at a lot of the dates when, like, a lot of revolutions happen throughout history, and a lot of them happen during the months when it's warmer. Like, most people bring about revolutions when they can be out in the open air. And, like, it's warm.
Because you don't want to be fighting in the cold.
Isn't that interesting, though? Like, you think about all the revolutions that happen around, like, the time of, like, July, August, June, and a lot of countries apparently have those dates during those times, and it's like, oh, well, people just want to feel warm when they're, you know, leading a revolution.
I guess. I mean, you have to imagine, we're fed up with this, we're not waiting any longer, but it's cotton picking, you know, November, it's gonna get cold soon. Oh, well, we'll put it up with it for about 6 more months.
It's like, okay.
Unless you're in Minnesota, then you have to put up with it forever, because even when it's warm enough out, you have to deal with road construction.
Oh, Minnesota. Shout out to
Another
Minnesota.
terrible score.
I thought you were going to say another terrible state, and I was going to be like, oh, don't say that. No, don't worry. We love you, Minnesota. Shout out to Minnesota.
Yes, except I don't have to shout very far. Alright, well, that's all again for this episode, folks. Once again, we will see you next time if you're not sick of us yet.
I'm going to go get the ball in outer space. Bye-bye, guys.
Bye!